Hey guys, it's Ben Haradine here from Harradine Performance. I wanted to thank you very much for the questions that you came in with a couple of weeks ago, and I'm doing my best to answer them. I'm trying to do one video a week at least where I can answer your questions. It also helps me to think about things in retrospect. Eric Ye asked me about mental preparation. Some of the things I find valuable regarding mental preparation is understanding the emotional side of ourselves, what emotions drive us. Because often in times of stress, we react based on our emotions and how these escalate or control some of our decision making. So if you're thinking, for example, what emotions come out when I feel as though I'm performing to my expectations or when I'm performing well, how do I feel? Some people might describe those emotions as confidence, as excitement, as euphoria. On the contra side of that, thinking about what emotions come out when we aren't performing as well as we would expect. Sometimes we feel frustrated or angry. Understanding that emotions are at play when we are performing can be helpful in the way that we strategize. The trick is to understand how to take control over the response that we're having. Let's say we are in a competition and we have an attempt nowhere near what we expected, and that drives us into a state of frustration. What we might do is to, instead of trying to think about shutting those emotions out, we acknowledge that they are there, and then we use it as a way to navigate what emotions or where we want to be taking control and make better decisions rationally about what to do next and what can we take control over. So we've had an attempt, we feel frustrated, we recognize, okay, that emotion is there. We don't try and ignore it. We just sit with it for a moment and go back to the breath. Because often our response is coming in a physical sense. We feel frustrated, our shoulders come up, we get tight, we breathe a lot more from our chest. And by taking control over the breath, we are able to actually settle ourselves and then refocus our attention into high pressure situations. Sometimes under high stress, we default back to safety. We take things slow, we don't have the same intensity, we aren't leaning into the challenge of the nature of competition. It's not only about finding the emotions that we want to drive our performance, we also want to take those emotions into high pressure situations at max intensity. Just in summary, understand what emotions are at play when you're competing. Don't try and shut them out. Acknowledge that they are there. The first step in taking control over our response is to come back to our breathing.